Hi, I'm Denise. Thank you for watching my video. Today I'm going to talk about writing cursive letters. The first thing to keep in mind is that there are many styles of writing cursive letters. Today I'm going to show you a fairly traditional style of writing. One of the differences among the styles is the amount of embellishment on each letter. By embellishment, I mean the extra loops or the extra fancy pieces that are added to some letters. I'll give you an example. This is a letter M. It has a loop right here in the top left. This is also a letter M. It does not have the loop. So when I said embellishment, I meant that some styles have the extra loop here. You can choose whichever style you want. I will try to show you a little bit of both while I'm writing. Mostly a more traditional style though that does have loops. So the first thing to keep in mind is that there are different styles. The second thing to keep in mind is that when we write cursive letters, we slant our letters to the right. So if you look at these letters, they're both slanted to the right, from the bottom left to the top right. Okay, we slant it this way. Okay, let's get started. Capital A looks a lot like a lowercase printed a. We start at the top, just a little bit below the top. Curve around and go back up to meet this spot. Back down. And we make this little curve on the bottom. All cursive letters have a little tail on them. Cursive letters, when we write words, are connected to the next letter to form the word. So the cursive letters have a little tail-like piece at the end that helps us to connect to the next letter. Not every letter can be connected, but it is still important to have these little bits at the end, the little tail at the end. That's different from having the loop at the top. So I'll show you and talk about it as we go on. Okay. The letter B. We start low, go up, come straight down, and remember I'm always slanting. Come straight down, go back up, the same line, go around to make the first loop, and in a traditional style, we'll loop around here, and come down to make the second loop, come up a little bit, and we go in. A bit like that. Now, a less traditional style would not have this loop. I still go up, down, up for the top loop, and instead of making a loop right here in the middle, I'll just come back down and make the bottom. And then again, I go in this little piece here. That's a capital B. Capital C. I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to make a loop on this one. Capital C. Actually, this should come down to the line. Capital D starts at the top, comes down and makes a loop here at the bottom. We curve up to the top and it comes in like that. One without this extra loop would look like this. Come down and maybe go around like that. But still, notice that the D, it's rounded and it comes in at the top. Even when I did this one with the loop, I went back up and I curved around. Okay, for the letter E, I'm going to make a loop, go around, loop loop again in the middle of the line, come down and go like that. Okay, without this extra loop, it would look something like this. Some people might make it without this loop also. Okay, the letter F starts at the top, and we make a little loop, and notice it curves like that. That's the top of our F. Then we come down, we're still on a slant, curve up, and then back and cross over the F. Remember, a printed F looks like this, so it has two lines. With the cursive F, we have the top, that's our top of the F. This part that hooks over, that's the second line. Okay, so we make the top, lift the pen, go back to the middle, come down and up, then cross over. Okay? For the letter G, we start at the bottom of the line. We go up, loop, go back up, now come down and around, and go in for the G. Remember, the printed G also has this line in the middle, so we need that in the cursive G as well. So I started at the bottom, I went up, and I looped, went up again, came back down, and around. With cursive writing, we mostly want to keep our pen on the paper all of the time. And we only lift it when we're changing words. That works most of the time, but not always. With some letters, we do have to lift the pen. But in general, we try to keep the pen on the paper, okay? Okay, here's the letter H. I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to make a loop. So to make the loop, I start in a spot, I come down and around. That's my loop. Then I continue the letter. So in this case, with the H, I would continue down. I didn't make a loop on the B. I suppose you could. You could make a loop here if you wanted. I don't know. That doesn't work. Okay, so for the H, I make my loop, I continue down, and again I'm always on that slant. Now here I do have to pick up my pen. I go to the top again to make the other side of the H, come down, and now I keep my pen on the paper. I go back up the line, come over here to touch the other line, and continue. Okay, so that's in my printed H, it's like this, so this is my cross line. Start at the top, make a loop, come down, lift the pen, go back to the top, come down, go up halfway, loop around. Okay, the letter I starts at the bottom of the line. I'm going to go up. When I go up, I slant a little bit to the left because I'm making a loop. And then I come back to the right. So the I starts down here, go up a little to the left, go around to the right, loop back around, come back down, go up a little, and make a little thing like that. That's an I. The J is next. The J is one of the capital letters that goes below the bottom line. We start on the bottom line, we loop up, similar to the I, come back down, and go up. J. Okay, the K starts at the top. I'm going to make a loop, come down to the bottom, lift up my pen, go back to the top, come down to the middle, make a loop, and continue. Okay? So with that one I came down, looped, and curved to the right. The L starts at the top, just below the upper line. Make a loop, come down, like that, okay? I would probably make this loop a little bigger. Maybe like that. Okay, the M is next. Start at the top, make a loop, come down, go back up your line, all the way to the top, come down again, keep your pen on the paper, go back up the line, make another loop, come down to the bottom, and there's the tail. Notice the second loop is not as tall as the first loop. Now, of course, I showed you earlier, you can make it without the loop. You can make many of these without the loop. So I could just do this, come down, up again, down, up again, like that. Again, the second bump is shorter than the first. Another one like the K without the loop would just be like this. And I could make it here, or, well, I would make it there. Okay. The N is next. Just like the printed N, the cursive N only has one bump. So I curve, come down on my slant, go back up, and finish it. And of course, without the loop here, I would just do something like this. Okay? The O starts at the top of the line, goes around and down, back up, and then it loops at the top. So the O also has a little tail, but it's at the top, okay? Down and around, loop. The letter P is next. The P starts at the top. I will start it with a loop. So make my loop, come down, go back up, and make the curved part. I don't normally make it with a loop though, so I make it something like this. I go up a little bit, then down, then back up. So I prefer to go up in this direction and down. If you like the loop though, you can add a little loop up there. The Q is next. The Q starts at the top. Make a little loop, come down, loop again, and continue. The Q looks like almost like the number 2. It does have a loop at the top and a loop here at the bottom. The R starts out in a similar way to the P, so you can start it with or without the loop. So here it is with the loop. Make the loop and come down, up. You can make a loop here and continue. Without that loop, I would make it look like this. I would make a little piece going up on the R, up to the top, go down, back up, and then continue. I still, in either case, I have a loop here in the middle, but this top loop is not as important. The S is next. The S starts at the bottom, it slants up and to the right, curves down and all the way to the bottom, again to about here, and then it has a little piece that goes in. Okay, so start at the bottom, go up, make a loop, back down and around. This loop is not optional, that loop does need to be there. The next one is the T. The T starts at the top in the same way as the F. T. Then we pick up our pen, we go to the middle, come down, go up a little bit, and make a little piece in like that. That is a T. If you'll remember, the F was similar, but the F continued over the long piece. So this is the F. Okay, the T does not cross here, but the F does cross. Okay, so that's not T, so cross that one out. The letter U is next. The U starts at the top, make a loop, comes down to the bottom and curves, goes back up, then straight down and like this. So the U it's curved on the left, it's straight on the right, and you go back down to make a line on the right. Remember the lowercase printed U looks like this with a line on the right. This uppercase U is the same. The letter V is next. It starts at the top. It starts in a similar way to the U. It starts at the top. Make a curve. It's rounded, but it just goes up. It curves and goes up. It does not come back down like the U. So the letter V goes around, starts out like the U, and goes up, and it stops at the top. The U does not stop at the top. When we go up, we come back down for the U. The letter W is next. It starts at the top, and it starts in the same way as the U and the V. So I make a little loop, come down, but it makes a point at the bottom. Goes up, down, and back up. So it has 2 points. Down, up, down, up. Okay, that's W. The letter X is next. It starts at the top, make a loop, and go down to the right. Then I have to lift my pen, go back to the top, and make the other side of the F, or X. The letter Y starts at the top. We make our loop, come down like the U, go back up, back down, and make a loop below the line like this. So the Y and the U, the top part of the Y and the U look the same. The U, of course, stops on the line. The Y continues below the line and makes a loop and goes back up. And this loop is not one that you would eliminate. You would not remove this. You have to have that loop. This loop up here you can remove if you don't like that. So you could just do like that if you wanted. But this one you need. Okay, that's the Y, and Z is next. The Z is a little similar. It goes below the line, but we start at the top, make the loop, come down, but here it's different. The Z comes down to a point here. The Y was rounded at the bottom, but the Z comes down to a point. We go across, and then we make the loop, like that. Let me make that one again, but notice the difference. The Y is rounded at the bottom, the Z is not rounded. Okay, here's another Z. Okay, the reason I go up is to connect to the next letter. So those are the cursive capital letters. Here is the whole alphabet written in cursive and capital letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Thanks for watching. Bye.